fight to decriminalize extramarital sex in Morocco. Hashtag repeal 490. On February 22nd, the Moroccan Outlaws, a youth social movement, called on political parties to repeal Article 490, which criminalizes sexual relations outside of marriage. Based on reports from the public prosecutor's office, almost 15,000 people were charged under this article in 2019. The Moroccan Outlaws have been fighting to repeal this article since October 2019. On February 3rd, a sexual adult video of a single mother from Tetouan was published on the internet without her knowledge, and she was sentenced to a month in prison. This case pushed the Moroccan Outlaws back into action. Former Minister of Social Development, Nouzha Skalli, spoke in favor of revoking Article 490. Deputy Fatima-Zahra Barassat stated that the state should not have the right to control private relations, but can punish what it depicts as a threat to civil decency, as is already specified in Article 483. Director of the Moroccan Outlaws, Sonia Terrab, stated that it is a chance to reconcile young people with commitment, to push them to pursue politics. So this is the news Rivka suggested, and this is her area. So I'll let her take it away.
So a couple things. So as Susanna mentioned, this has been going since 2019, and it started then with this journalist who was charged with having an illegal abortion and also sex outside of marriage. And then kind of they had this movement in 2019, and now it's been brought to the forefront again. And I want to bring up the fact that the young woman who did not know that this video was being circulated on the internet has been charged and has been in prison for a month, while the person who shared the video remains completely uncharged. He apparently lives in the Netherlands, but
that's freaking crazy.
Yeah. So, this Moroccan Outlaws, a couple things about them. They've been very modern in terms of how they're conducting this campaign. They have social media, they have Facebook, they're out there using the tools of how you conduct a modern running a modern social media campaign against this. They've been sending letters to members of parliament. They've got all these different groups. They're asking people, you know, are you for this repeal? But what's interesting is that one of the ministers who was, you know, hinting that he might be on board with this is saying something like, well, you know, this is really difficult because on the one hand you have religion and on the other hand you have individual freedoms. And I thought that that was very interesting because what he's doing is tacitly, you know, agreeing that religion impacts your individual freedoms.
Yeah.
Without, you know, so much as saying that. And so that part's really interesting. And the thing is, like, 490, you know, criminalizes sex outside of marriage. So that would be adultery as well. You can go to prison for that. And there's a variety of laws in Morocco that criminalize personal behavior.
Hey guys, if you're a fan of blasphemy and sexy Kali, you know, like me, then that means that you probably want more blasphemous art. Well, I have good news for you. If you subscribe to our newsletter, link in the description below, then you get a free booklet of some of the tastiest blasphemous art available today. So, if you want some of this delicious blasphemy, and we're so generous that we update it for you guys weekly for free, all you have to do is sign up for our newsletter below. You can also go to blasphemousart.com blasphemous.com/ebook. That's blasphemousart.com/ebook. Sign up with your email, and you get free gifts of this tasty blasphemy. What could be better? So make sure you sign up. Link below.
The Penal Code 220 and 221 are rules on individual freedoms that have not been repealed, that people have attempted to repeal in the past too. So even though Morocco sells itself as the soft Islam, and you can dress how you like generally if you're in Morocco or Casa or Rabat, but it still has these rules. For example, 222 is you can get arrested for eating in public during Ramadan. So there is a lot of you can go to jail for 6 months for that, up to 6 months. And so there's a lot of social coercion too. And that's something that some of these activists and these parliamentarians who are interested in repealing this talk about, kind of turning everybody into these agents of the state to report on people's personal behavior. And so it's this coercion. Also, abortions being illegal. Although the king was supposed to have been working on changing that hasn't. So there's a lot of rules on people's behaviors, and they still haven't criminalized marital rape. And I believe it's 220 talks about only defining rape, only defining the R word as between a man and a woman. So there's a lot of work to do. So I'm really proud of these people at 490 who are talking about this and keep bringing it to the forefront, because a lot of people don't know that you can still go to jail in Morocco for having sex outside of marriage. You can, or for eating in public, because especially if you're a tourist or somebody who's visited, you are not necessarily seeing that side. You're seeing, people wearing whatever they want, drinking alcohol at a bar, enjoying themselves, and don't realize it's been a lot. And also, even in Western Sahara, there's been allegations of, inhumane treatment. So Morocco, while I really applaud everything they're doing to move forward, I'm really happy to see all these young people who are trying to bring this to the forefront. And if you want to, you can go on Moroccan Outlaws on Facebook and like it.
Cool. Thanks for the suggestion. They sound like a really cool group, and I like how they are also trying to use this opportunity to highlight to the youth to get more involved in politics, help join and fight for your own individual freedoms. Yeah, 15,000 people were charged for this in 2019. 15,000.
That's huge.
And that's probably just who were charged. There are probably a lot more who were arrested with this, I'm assuming. That's huge. Let the people have sex, man. Let them have sex.
People have gone to prison in Morocco, not just for premarital sex, adultery, and also homosexuality.
Yeah.
So this is very much government in your business. The nation, the king, but it's also this guy who was talking about religion is right in the sense that the motto is, God, king, country. I believe that's how it is. And it's, spelled out in these, rocks and Agadir. And it's this big, and a lot of people do support the monarchy. Some people don't, but I know a lot of my relatives are very happy to go out and clap when the king drives by. So I'm hoping that he will get behind this as well and speak out against it. But I think a lot of the political parties are feeling like pressure because they want to have it both ways. And then some socialist party was issuing a different statement every day, and they said, this isn't something you can build a political party around. Well, it actually could be if you're talking about reforming the country And there's even been Islamic feminist, she's a scholar, who said she supports this as well.
Before we, so is that it? Before we go to the next news, I want to say something separate. I know there are some pro CCP idiots in the live chat with some really moronic takes, and it's funny. However, and I appreciate people like countering them. However, if you do that, please do not be racist against Chinese people. I notice sometimes when people are countering this CCP morons, they end up saying things that is actually racist against Chinese people. So I just want to bring that. You're not helping. If you think you're fighting CCP by making statements like that against Chinese people, or using any form of stereotypes to make fun of them that is usually used against Chinese people, you're definitely not helping. So please stop that. All right, but yeah, but all the other people who are ridiculing these CCP idiots, good job.
Hey guys, YouTube has fully demonetized our channel for supposedly hateful and harmful conduct without telling us what we did wrong. If we get to 1,000 patrons, we will be able to keep paying all our team, our editors, our artists without ever having to worry about monetization again, which would be amazing. Yay! So please support Atheist Republic on Patreon. Link in the description below.